social unrest simmers beneath the surface of societies worldwide. It's fueled by a sense of unfairness, a widening gap between the haves and the have-nots. Inequality in its various forms acts as a potent catalyst for this unrest. When opportunities are limited and resources are concentrated in the hands of a few, frustration and anger fester. History is replete with examples of social unrest ignited by economic disparities. From the French Revolution to the Arab Spring, the struggle for equality and a fair share of resources has driven mass movements. Today, we see the same dynamic playing out in different forms across the globe, from protests against austerity measures to demands for social justice. The interconnectedness of our world means that inequality in one region can have ripple effects elsewhere. Economic migrants fleeing poverty and lack of opportunity often face discrimination and hardship in their search for a better life. This movement of people can strain resources and exacerbate social tensions in receiving countries. Addressing inequality is not just a moral imperative, it is essential for global stability and peace. When large segments of the population feel left behind or denied basic rights and opportunities, societies become vulnerable to instability and conflict. Understanding the root causes of inequality is the first step towards building a more just and equitable world for all. Income inequality refers to the uneven distribution of wealth within a society. It means that a small percentage of the population holds a disproportionately large share of the income and assets. This gap between the rich and the poor has been widening in many parts of the world, leading to social and economic consequences. One stark example of income inequality is the fact that the world's richest 1% own more than half of the world's wealth. This concentration of wealth at the top leaves a shrinking share for everyone else. In many developed countries, wages for the middle class have stagnated while the incomes of the top earners have skyrocketed. The consequences of income inequality are manifold. It can lead to social stratification, where people are divided along economic lines. This can erode social cohesion and create resentment. Additionally, high levels of income inequality are linked to poorer health outcomes, lower life expectancy, and increased crime rates. Addressing income inequality requires a multi-pronged approach. This includes policies that promote fair wages, such as raising the minimum wage and strengthening collective bargaining rights. Progressive taxation, where the wealthy contribute a larger share of their income, can fund social programs that benefit the less fortunate. Investing in education and skills training can help create a more level playing field for everyone. Education is often hailed as the great equalizer, a pathway to opportunity and upward mobility. However, access to quality education remains deeply unequal, perpetuating cycles of poverty and disadvantage across generations. Disparities in education start early and have long-lasting consequences. Children from low-income families often lack access to early childhood education, putting them at a disadvantage from the start. They may attend underfunded schools with limited resources and overcrowded classrooms. This lack of access to quality education can limit their future prospects, making it harder to break free from the cycle of poverty. The consequences of educational inequality are far-reaching. Individuals with lower levels of education are more likely to experience unemployment, earn lower wages, and have poorer health outcomes. This in turn impacts their families and communities, perpetuating a cycle of disadvantage. Creating a more equitable education system requires addressing the root causes of these disparities. This includes investing in early childhood education, ensuring that all schools have adequate funding and resources, and providing support services for students from disadvantaged backgrounds. Making higher education more affordable and accessible is also crucial to leveling the playing field. Section 4, Healthcare, a privilege, not a right. Access to quality healthcare is essential for a healthy and productive society. Yet, around the world, millions of people lack access to even basic medical care. Healthcare disparities, often linked to income, race, and geographical location, have life-altering consequences. In many countries, the ability to pay determines the quality of healthcare received. Those without insurance or the means to cover medical expenses often face insurmountable barriers to care. They may delay seeking treatment, leading to more serious health problems down the line. The lack of access to healthcare has a ripple effect on individuals, families, and communities. It can lead to financial hardship due to medical debt, force people to leave the workforce due to illness, and even result in preventable deaths. Children growing up in poverty are particularly vulnerable to the negative health consequences of healthcare disparities. Addressing healthcare disparities requires a commitment to universal health coverage, ensuring that everyone has access to essential healthcare services without facing financial hardship. This includes investing in primary care, expanding access to affordable medications, and addressing social determinants of health, such as poverty and lack of access to nutritious food. Section 5, Closing the Gaps, a collective endeavor. The fight against global inequality is a daunting but essential task. It requires a collective effort from governments, civil society organizations, and individuals around the world. While the challenges are significant, there are glimmers of hope and examples of successful initiatives that can serve as models for change. Some countries have made progress in reducing income inequality through progressive taxation, strong social safety nets, and investments in education and healthcare. Others have implemented policies to promote fair wages and improve working conditions. International organizations are working to promote sustainable development goals, including reducing inequality within and among countries. Civil society organizations play a crucial role in advocating for the rights of marginalized communities, providing essential services, and holding governments accountable. Individuals can make a difference by supporting organizations working to combat inequality, raising awareness about these issues, and advocating for policies that promote a more just and equitable world. The fight against global inequality is not just about redistributing wealth. It's about creating a world where everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential. It's about ensuring that all people have access to quality education, health care, and economic opportunities regardless of their background or circumstances. It's about creating a world where everyone has a chance to live a life of dignity and opportunity. This requires a fundamental shift in our priorities, from a system that prioritizes profit over people to one that values the well-being of all. The path to a more equitable world will be paved with challenges, but the stakes are too high to ignore. The consequences of inaction are dire, leading to greater instability, conflict, and human suffering. By working together, we can create a world where everyone has the chance to thrive, regardless of where they are born or what circumstances they face. It is a fight worth fighting for a future where equality and justice prevail.